Welcome back to Fantasy Football Today, presented by BetMGM. I'm Jamie, that's Heath, that's Robert. We always do this every Wednesday because I think it's important for a lot of fantasy managers that make their waiver moves on Tuesday. We review the most added, most dropped, and most traded players of the fantasy waiver wire moves that happen on CBSSports.com leagues on Tuesday night. So let's start with the most added players, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a non-surprise that Audric Estime is the number one player. As I said last week, we see this list for the first time. So a lot of defenses, some kickers as well, but two running backs on this list that stand out, Audric Estime and Gus Edwards. So Robert, in full disclosure, I was going to use the Broncos as a talking point in the running back roundtable, but I figured Estime would be on this list. So give me your breakdown of the rookie from Notre Dame making his really first full, not start, but first full, impact on the game here, as he got 14 carries, 53 yards against a really good Chiefs run defense. No targets yet on the season, but Javonte Williams and Jaleel McLaughlin took a backseat. How do you view the Broncos running back situation moving forward?
Well, I view it as a work in progress. Audric Estime now is going to get his opportunity. The Broncos want to see what they have in the young rookie out of Notre Dame. But this isn't something that's set in stone for me. So, for him to be number one added is a little bit of a risk, I think, for a lot of fantasy managers. Maybe he pans out. He had one good game, and maybe he pans out to be, the starter moving forward. But the thing about Javonte Williams is that he is proven, and he has had some really good games on the season. So it's a work in progress because it can change in 2 weeks from now. They can go right back to Javonte Williams. So a little bit concerned about how heavily he's being added, but obviously if he pans out, then it's a great decision by fantasy managers.
And I wouldn't, like he said, 2 weeks from now, I wouldn't be all that surprised if Audric Estime has 4 carries in the first quarter and does something Sean Payton didn't like, and all of a sudden Javonte Williams leads the team in carries in the second quarter. It's just, that's kind of the way they function with these running backs, is one mistake and you're going to sit down for a while. So I do think he's a better add and maybe a better start this week if you need him in non-PPR leagues, because what you said, Jamie, he hasn't seen a target all year long. In full PPR, he's the best Broncos running back in my rankings this week, but he and Javonte are both right around RB30.
Yeah, and Javonte did, do a little bit more work in the passing game. Not a lot of catches, but, still playing on more third down opportunities. Jaleel McLaughlin is the one that really suffered the most. Only had 2 carries in this game. No catches in the game against the Chiefs. So we'll see what happens in this matchup against Atlanta, where the Broncos have an opportunity to play with a lead, and maybe they're able to kick the winning field goal as opposed to getting it blocked against the Chiefs. The other running back on that list was Gus Edwards. So, Robert, I'll go right back to you. JK Dobbins has been fantastic this season. Edwards missed the last 4 games prior to Week 10 with the ankle injury, comes back, gets 10 carries for 55 yards on only 15 snaps. So they're probably going to give him a little bit more work moving forward. Is Edwards a problem for JK Dobbins moving forward?
No, I don't think so. I think that this will be a nice 1-2 combo, similarly to how you would see the Detroit Lions with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Now, obviously, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs have 2 different styles that really work, where JK Dobbins and Gus Edwards really have very similar styles. But I think that, Coach Harbaugh wants to use them very similarly as far as their opportunity and then production onto the field. So I don't think this hurts J.K. Dobbins. It may help him some as pertains to rest and recovery.
We saw the first basically 2 games of the season. It was about a 50-50 split when it came to rush attempts between Dobbins and Edwards. And Edwards clearly wasn't right. He fell off, went on IR. Dobbins just completely dominated running back touches for a month. And now it looks like we're back to that 50-50 split. But the one edge that Dobbins has is that he's been used in the passing game. Gus Edwards hasn't. I had kind of gotten to where I was ranking Dobbins between RB12 and RB15 during that time that Edwards was on IR. I think he's closer to RB22, RB23, somewhere in that range now. And Gus Edwards is a guy that needs to be rostered and sitting on your bench, because if something happens to J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards will be a start.
And already a career best season high in carries for J.K. Dobbins. Last time he had this much work was his rookie campaign. So to Robert's point, rest, recovery, but making sure that he's there for a potential playoff run for the Chargers, I'm sure is important to Harbaugh and company. So they want to make sure that they give Gus Edwards enough work. And should something happen to Dobbins, we could be looking at Edwards as a lottery ticket type of running back. All right, let's show you the most dropped list here on CBSSports.com leagues. And, players moving on from kickers, defenses, a lot of that on this list. Heath, I'll start with you with the 2 receivers there at the bottom. Deontay Johnson clearly not playing very much for the Ravens, and Demarcus Robinson had one bad game. Should we be kicking these players to the curb at this point?
I mean, they're definitely droppable. I wouldn't call them must drops. I do think after the way Mike Tomlin talked about Deontay Johnson not being a big part of the Ravens' game plan, I wonder if Deontay Johnson scores a touchdown against the Steelers this week. But yeah, they certainly are way more droppable than the name right above them, Tank Bigsby.
Yes, and Robert, you sort of alluded to that, but just want to reiterate, Tank Bigsby, you think is still going to have a role rest of season for Jacksonville?
I do. Once he gets back healthy, I think Jacksonville is in a position where they want to see what they have in their young guys. They want to see what their future looks like. I think Tank Bigsby is going to get, a lot of opportunity once he gets back. And
just the one thing, though, if you are looking at it, in dropping Bigsby, if he doesn't play this week, Jaguars have a bye in Week 12, so not a bad idea if you're looking to maybe, take a flyer on Estime, for example, or there's another receiver that you need, and then hopefully try and get Bigsby back, maybe even on their bye week or certainly going into Week 13. Remember, as fantasy leagues go on, some people stop paying attention when they're out of playoff contention, so it might be easier to get Tank Bigsby at that point. Most traded list on CBSSports.com leagues, and this is always a fun one to look at. Remember, trade deadlines are rapidly approaching, so we're probably not going to talk trades much longer, but here's the most traded list of CBSSports.com leagues as of Tuesday night. Robert, when you see Tyrone Tracy, tough fumble in the loss against the Panthers in Germany, but he's been so successful. Are you looking to buy low on Tyrone Tracy with the idea of maybe a quarterback change for the Giants, or you'd be selling high on him knowing that this offense might even potentially get worse if Daniel Jones is sat down? Yeah,
I think that's a really good question. I think I would sell high on Tyrone Tracy at this particular time. You had the one fumble like you mentioned. Sometimes that causes a coach to go back to the other guy. Maybe Singletary now is going to get more opportunity, assuming he's healthy and ready to go as well. So I'd sell high on Tracy, especially if I need something at wideout or maybe a quarterback.
Heath, we had a good discussion about the Chiefs' backfield on our Fantasy Football Today podcast on Wednesday. So Kareem Hunt has been great for the Chiefs, but Isiah Pacheco, the window is now open. He's unlikely to play against the Bills, according to Andy Reid on Wednesday, but he's coming back soon. How do you approach the Chiefs' backfield from Pacheco and Hunt trade-wise? We're going to talk about how this all works from a production standpoint, the running back roundtable, but trade-wise, are you looking to trade off Kareem Hunt or acquire Isiah Pacheco, or trade Isiah Pacheco and acquire Kareem Hunt, knowing that there's an opportunity for you to use him here? Like, what's the trade perspective on these guys?
Well, I think the real interest is hopefully the next 3 weeks, and hopefully it's just Kareem Hunt, because you got the Buffalo Bills, you got the Carolina Panthers, you got the Las Vegas Raiders. Kareem Hunt could be a top 5 running back over that stretch if Isiah Pacheco takes the full 3 weeks that he's allowed to come back from the IR. Once he's back, I don't think the Chiefs have a good fantasy running back, because I think Isiah Pacheco probably takes his starting job back, but Kareem Hunt's now going to have 40% of the touches, and their fantasy playoff schedule is absolutely terrible for running back. So I would be looking to use this news of Pacheco being designated to return as a sell high moment. Go sell him to somebody who thinks he could be a top 12 running back in the fantasy playoffs. I'm not sure he's going to be a top 20 running back.
All right, we're going to get Robert's take on the Chiefs backfield coming up in the running back roundtable. Let's answer one of your questions first. Thank you again for sending them to us on X, Twitter, using the hashtag AskFFT. Brian wants to know, would you trade Joe Burrow and Terry McLaurin to the Sam Darnold owner for Amon-Ra St. Brown in half PPR? So giving up Burrow and McLaurin to get Amon-Ra St. Brown. Brian already has Malik Neighbors, Drake London, Zay Flowers, Christian McCaffrey, Brian Robinson, and a lot of stars. Getting another wide receiver to him feels like makes some sense. So would you give up Burrow and McLaurin to the Darnold owner for Amon-Ra St. Brown? Robert, what do you think about that?
No, absolutely not. I mean, who's going to be your quarterback? Who's the other quarterback? No, I wouldn't do it. Nope.
It is interesting that he kind of told us the whole rest of his team, but didn't tell us who his quarterback was.
Yeah.
And that would make a big difference in my answer. If you've got somebody else who you think is a top 12 quarterback.
Well, maybe it's Darnold. Maybe he's trading Burrow and McLaurin for Darnold.
They're absolutely not. And if it's Darnold, no.
I'd be really on the fence. If it was anybody better than Darnold, I'd probably do it, because I do think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be better than Terry McLaurin the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's it's you're downgrading quarterback, upgrading wide receiver, so it's sort of strengthening one part of your roster, weakening the other. So it's almost like trading to trade. I'd rather have Burrow and McLaurin myself.